With the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was the removal of the trophy collectible from games prior. Replacing it in this iteration of the series was the Spirits. Spirits are images taken from a whole plethora of Nintendo franchises and non-Nintendo franchises. They provide enhancements and benefits, but in order to obtain them, you'll need to buy them in shops or through battle. These battles contain references to the source material. So in this video, I'll be explaining the history and origins behind every spirit in the Pikmin franchise. Let's see how many times I'll say the word Pikmin in this video. Keep in mind there will be spoilers in this video, so if you see the game you're playing currently or wish to play, then be forewarned. I will be discussing spoilers from those games. Anyway, without further ado, Louis. While Olimar was returning from the Pikmin planet, Louis was off doing his own quest, delivering a package of golden Pikmin carrots. However, something went horribly wrong during his mission, and the Pikmin carrots were devoured by ravenous space bunnies, according to Louis. Due to this, the company Olimar and Louis both work for, Hakatate Freight, has gone into severe debt. Upon Olimar's return, the president of the company sends Olimar back to the Pikmin planet alongside Louis to collect treasure and settle their debt. Louis acts as your secondary character within the story, allowing you to multitask. Louis is a little airheaded. He's not really all that present, mostly thinking about food. In fact, upon finishing the game, you'll gain access to Louis' notes on everything you've discovered in the Piklopedia, where Louis explains how he will eat these creatures. This feature for Louis is brought back in Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Pikmin 4. With his intense love for food and bottomless stomach, one's gotta wonder if it was really the space bunnies behind the disappearance of the golden Pikmin carrots. Despite how innocent Louis may seem, there is a darkness behind those eyes. Unfortunately, Louis does not feature a spirit battle. Charlie. When the planet Kopai goes on the brink of a worldwide food shortage, they send out satellites to find a planet with edible food. And when all seemed lost, they finally found one. Captain Charlie leads a squad of explorers to venture off to this mysterious planet, but upon descending to the planet's surface, something causes their vessel to crash, splitting the squad across the planet's continents. When Charlie awakens, he finds himself in a snowy abyss, surrounded by strange yellow plant-like creatures. He learns to work with them and moves onward, hoping to find his crew. Instead, he finds himself becoming something's lunch. Thankfully, though, that's not the end for Captain Charlie. Nothing can stand in the way of his steely fists or his rubber ducky. Eventually rescued by his crew, Charlie joins them as they collect fruit for their home planet and find their missing cosmic drive key. To represent Charlie is Alf in his green alt, with two more Alfs in their default and pink alts, all three referencing the crew of Pikmin 3, which consists of Alf, obviously, Charlie, also obviously, and Brittany. Pikmin 3 has 3 playable characters and a vastly improved multitasking system. To reference Charlie's larger frame, they made the green Alf slightly larger than the others. Alf and Brittany's stand-in arriving late is to reference them coming in to rescue Charlie at the midway point of the game. The stage is Garden of Hope, which is one of the locations you can visit in Pikmin 3. While the slippery stage hazard is meant to reference the distant tundra, the snowy place that Charlie crash lands. While the Hakatate bomb item that spawns in is only meant to reference how they got split up, via crash landing, a common occurrence in the Pikmin series. As for Charlie spawning in with the drill item, well, it could either be a reference to his self-proclaimed steely fists, or that his tutorial started him with the yellow Pikmin who are the best diggers in Pikmin 3. The theme is Mission Mode from Pikmin 3, and is only chosen because of that connection. Brittany. Recruited to take part in the food scavenging mission on PNF 404, Brittany is a botanist. She'll be able to discern what is edible and inedible. Although she'd rather eat all the food for herself, she unfortunately has to share it with her crewmates and save the seeds for their home planet. When descending to PNF 404, their ship crashed and Brittany landed in the Garden of Hope. On Alf's first night alone, Brittany manages to contact him, allowing him to find her location. She has a bit of a crush on Alf, but he's none the wiser. Anywho, for Brittany's spirit battle, she is represented by Alf in his pink alternate, which is already based on her. In the battle, food items will be a common occurrence, with it providing strength to Alf. This is all to reference Brittany's insane appetite for all things sweet, as well as the main objective of Pikmin 3, which is to collect all the fruit they possibly can to feed their starving planet. The 2-minute timer could be a reference to days having timers in them in this game, or the more likely option that they can only survive and continue the game if they have fruit stockpiled. No fruit left by the end of the day, game over. The stage and theme are both Garden of Hope, which is where Alf finds Brittany. When the Brittany spirit is equipped, you gain gravity immunity. This is presumably because they are unaffected by low gravity when inside their ship, the SS Drake? Red Pikmin. When Olimar first crash-landed on this mysterious planet, his ship parts were scattered and he found himself with limited oxygen and very little hope, until he discovered this little guy. He named them Pikmin, after his favorite brand of Pick carrots. Red Pikmin sport long, sharp noses that increase their damage output, making them the strongest attacker in the original game. This honor would go to some other Pikmin types in later games. Aside from their damage output, Red Pikmin are immune to fire hazards, being able to defeat enemies such as the Fiery Bulblax or the Pyroclasmic Slooch, or take out fire geysers. In the Pikmin series, Red Pikmin will always be the Pikmin type you start the game with. While yes, Charlie started Pikmin 3 with yellow, you officially start the game with reds when you start playing the game as Alf. To represent the Red Pikmin is 12 tiny Incineroars in their shiny ult. Incineroar is a Fire-type Pokemon, and all of its Fire-type moves are increased in damage, referencing the Red Pikmin's immunity as well as them being the strongest attackers in their origin game. I should mention that in the Pikmin games, the Pikmin types do not dish out the damage types they are immune to. That is strictly a Smash thing. Anyway, the 12 of them are in reference to the large numbers you can grow in the Pikmin series. Although you can command up to 100 in the games, obviously a spirit battle isn't going to have you endure that. The Incineroars have very little HP, referencing the fact that Pikmin are fairly weak creatures and can be defeated quite easily if you're not managing them properly. The stage is the Garden of Hope, which was only chosen because it's a Pikmin stage. With the stage covered in lava, again, referencing the fire immunity that Red Pikmin exhibit. The lava immunity is referenced again in the ability you are given when you equip the Red Pikmin spirit. Blue Pikmin. You'll notice in the Pikmin games that there's a lot of enemies, ship parts, treasure, and fruit that lay beyond your Pikmin's reach due to large bodies of water. How in the world do you deal with all of that if your Pikmin keep on drowning? Well, that's where the blue Pikmin come in. Usually the last Pikmin type you'll discover, unless you're playing Hey Pikmin or Pikmin 4. These Pikmin are my personal favorite, and in my opinion, the most useful, and they get far too much hate. Aside from the notable blue coloration, their other distinguishing feature is the gill on their face, which mimics a mouth. With the help of the blue Pikmin, you'll finally be able to bring all those items you found across the water, and deal with any enemy types that release water, such as the watery blowhog or hydro dweevil. To reference their connection with water, 12 tiny Squirtles and their blue ult are chosen to represent the blue Pikmin. Once again, the small size is referencing how Pikmin are the size of bugs, while Squirtle's affiliation with water needs no explanation. In this battle, all of Squirtle's water-related moves have increased damage, again due to blue Pikmin's immunity to drowning and water-based attacks. This immunity is referenced again in the Squirtles having resistance against water attacks, as well as ice, but that's not important to the spirit itself. The low health carries over from the Red Pikmin spirit battle. The stage chosen is Distant Planet, which is based on the Awakening Wood in Pikmin 2, the location where you can find the blue Pikmin. Also, during the battle, the rain will be a permanent feature. I'm sure you know why that is by now. However, the timer being on for this battle is a little uncertain for me. It's either there for difficulty's sake, or a reference to the timers of the days in the Pikmin series, or the short time you have to rescue any drowning Pikmin. The music for this battle is the main theme from Pikmin 1, which Blue Pikmin originated in. When the Blue Pikmin spirit is equipped, you gain an increase on damage for thrown items. This has no reference to anything the Blue Pikmin is capable of in the Pikmin series, but instead a reference to the Blue Pikmin being the best for throwing in Smash. Yellow Pikmin. When Olimar initially discovered the Yellow Pikmin, they were primarily good for carrying bomb rocks. However, this ability was given to all the Pikmin starting with Pikmin 3. So what was to make up for this loss of ability? Well, before I mention that, I failed to mention that aside from carrying bomb rocks, Yellow Pikmin were able to be tossed up the highest, reaching places no other Pikmin type could. Starting with Pikmin 2, Yellow Pikmin gained immunity to electricity hazards and attacks. And in Pikmin 2, that's a lifesaver. In that game, electricity was an instant kill on any Pikmin that touched it, while in Pikmin 3 onward, it doesn't kill at all. That's so stupid. Anyway, another ability they gained is being able to dig fairly quick due to their ears, though this only started with Pikmin 3. Are you seeing a pattern here? Yellow Pikmin have had the most changes in the series, perhaps due to Pikmin being removed in later games or them feeling the electricity hazard wasn't common enough, or in general that the yellow Pikmin was too situational. Anyway, to represent the yellow Pikmin are 12 Pichus wearing their flowers. Pichu being a naturally yellow electric type Pokemon wearing a white flower? The reference just writes itself. Pichu starts the battle with the Screw Attack item equipped and prefers to use its neutral air. Both of these things use electricity, only enforcing the references to yellow Pikmin's electricity immunity. Surprisingly, nothing in this battle references their previous Bomb Rock ability or their throw height. Instead, the Zap Floor hazard is activated, once again referencing the electricity immunity. While the stage is the Garden of Hope. This has no direct reference to yellow Pikmin, it's just a Pikmin stage. The low health carries over from the previous two Pikmin Spirit battles. The music is the main theme from Pikmin 1, the debut game of the yellow Pikmin. When the yellow Pikmin Spirit is equipped, you gain a resistance to energy shot attacks. What a shocker, another electricity reference. White Pikmin. It's occurred to me that the order they've listed these Pikmin in actually don't make sense, but that's a small ramble and a half, so we'll just jump into this. The white Pikmin are discovered in Awakening Wood's White Flower Garden Cave. Like the purple Pikmin, white Pikmin can only be found and grown underground. Until post-game stuff in Pikmin 4 where they finally got an onion of their own. White Pikmin possessed an immunity to the newly introduced hazard type, Poison. Their immunity of poison made them ideal for dealing with gas emitters or poisonous enemies such as the Doodlebug or Moldy Dwarf Bulborb. Not only that, but white Pikmin were the fastest runners, diggers, and carriers, making them ideal if you want something back to your ship ASAP. Speaking of digging, white Pikmin were also capable of seeing underground treasures, digging them up when others couldn't. Unfortunately, white Pikmin did not return in the main story of Pikmin 3, but they were featured in its side content. But one of the best things Pikmin 4 did was bring back every type to the main story, so yes, that includes the white Pikmin, who are best known for their beady red eyes. One unique trait that white Pikmin had that no other type would remotely feature, until the introduction of Ice Pikmin in the 4th game, is when a white Pikmin is consumed, the enemy will be poisoned, losing a chunk of their life. However, due to white Pikmin being rare, it's not really an ideal tactic to use unless you are truly desperate. For the Spirit Battle, the white Pikmin is represented by 13 tiny white Kirbys, again with low HP. The poisonous floor referencing the white Pikmin's immunity, which is again referenced in their Spirit ability when equipped, which reduces the damage taken by poison floors. For this battle, the Kirbys will prefer to use their dash attacks, which is meant to reference the white Pikmins having the fastest stats in the game, although I don't know why they didn't just make them fast, but I digress. As for the POW block item, genuinely no clue. Personally, I think the Pitfall item would have made a little more sense. Finally, the stage is Distant Planet, which I've mentioned is based on Awakening Wood. This location features the cave where you'll first meet the white Pikmin. The theme is Forest of Hope from Pikmin 1. This has no relation to white Pikmin, outside of it being from the Pikmin series. Purple Pikmin. The most infamous thing to come from Pikmin 2 is the purple Pikmin. Beloved and despised by basically everyone, all due to them being the most powerful Pikmin type in their origin appearance. Able to stun and crush enemies with almost too much ease and carry 10 times their weight, the only downside to them is that they are the slowest walkers and carriers. This makes waiting on them to bring back the heaviest treasure in the game the most boring thing in the world. So when they did it again in Pikmin 4, you bet I was happy about it! Speaking of games that aren't Pikmin 2, the purple Pikmin's strength was nerfed heavily in the following games, losing their stun ability altogether and barely able to deal the damage they used to, making them almost useless. However, the ability to carry 10 times their weight remains and is still useful, although very situational. Like the white Pikmin, purple Pikmin can only be grown underground via violet candy pop buds, although in the post-game of Pikmin 4 they finally gained an onion of their own. To represent the purple Pikmin are 10 tiny Donkey Kongs and their blue alt that has more or less become purple at this point. Donkey Kong's bulky size, purple fur, and slightly increased health all are references to the brute strength and body size of the purple Pikmin. Although they do not have any more health than any of the other types, this is just a Smash thing. To reference the weight of the purple Pikmin and their ability to stun, the Donkey Kongs will cause damage when falling downward. The stage is once again Distant Planet, a stage based on the Awakening Wood from Pikmin 2, the origin game of the purple Pikmin. The theme is again the Forest of Hope, which is only chosen because it's a Pikmin theme. When the purple Pikmin spirit is equipped, your shield strength is increased, as is your weight, both of them representing the purple Pikmin's heavy weight. Winged Pikmin. During the long 9-year wait for Pikmin 3, I remember people theorizing and designing flying Pikmin so many times. And finally, when the game released, it happened. Winged Pikmin are found by Alf, Brittany, and Charlie in the Twilight River with their onion trapped in a web. Knocking the onion down gives you access to the winged Pikmin. Weak against ground enemies, you'll want to use them on flying enemies as they deal more damage against them. They will also carry objects on quicker, different paths, just make sure they're not blocked by any webs. Of course though, Pikmin 4 decided to remove all these specialties, so now they just fly, and that's about all they do. To represent the winged Pikmin are 12 Jigglypuffs with their red flower. Jigglypuff is a balloon Pokemon, naturally referencing winged Pikmin's abilities to fly and float, while the red flower is a good enough substitute for the purple flowers that the winged Pikmin have. For some reason, Jigglypuff is equipped with the Screw Attack item over the Tanuki Leaf. As a result, this has no real reference. Although Jigglypuff preferring to use its neutral air is a reference to how winged Pikmin deal more damage whilst in aerial combat. The stage and theme are both chosen because it's from Pikmin 3 and has nothing to do with the winged Pikmin directly. When the winged Pikmin spirit is equipped, you gain floaty jumps, due to them having wings. Rock Pikmin. The second Pikmin type Alf discovers when collecting fruit for his home planet Kopai. Required to smash through the glass that's blocking him from Brittany, Rock Pikmin excels at, well, shattering glass. But that isn't all they're good for. They're also immune to getting crushed and stabbed, so when you're facing off against a flighty Joustmite or a Scutterchuck, take into consideration that the Rock Pikmin will face no fear against them. They can even destroy the claw of the peckish Aristocrab, while no other Pikmin can. Oh yeah, right, they changed that in Pikmin 4. Of course they did. Representing the Rock Pikmin are 8 Kirbys in their Grey Alts, spamming their down special, which has Kirby transform into a heavy rock, mostly known to shift into a rock or thwomp, referencing the rockness of the Rock Pikmin, while the Grey also matching the color of the rock on the Rock Pikmin. The decreased jump height may be a reference to how Rock Pikmin have a lower throw arc, instead having distance over height. They're also the only Pikmin type not able to latch onto enemies, but that's not important here. The high gravity that affects you, however, I guess Rock Pikmin are fairly light for what they are, so maybe that's what it's referencing. But then the spirit ability provided to you upon equipping the Rock Pikmin is increased weight. You know, I don't think the team knew how to reference this Pikmin. The stage and music are both the Garden of Hope, the location where Alf discovers the Rock Pikmin. Bulborb. The spirit refers to the Bulborb as simply that, the Bulborb, but in the original Pikmin game the Bulborb went by the name Spotty Bulborb, while in its sequel it was renamed to Red Bulborb before becoming Bulborb in the third installment. The Bulborb is part of the Grubdog family, a species of nocturnal carnivores that absolutely adore the taste of Pikmin. There's a wide variety of Bulborbs, including a more dangerous subspecies known as the Bulblacks. We'll get into them later. The basic red Bulborb is essentially your Goomba of the Pikmin series. They're not too difficult, but if not treated seriously, can easily wipe out several Pikmin. My recommendations on taking them out are different within each game. For the first game, you'll want to swarm the sleeping Bulborb's butt without throwing, while in the sequel you want to spam throw all of your Pikmin again on their butt, but for the third and fourth game, focusing on its eyes is key as it will disorient the Bulborb. I further recommend using the Rock Pikmin for it in Pikmin 3. Usually accompanied with the sleeping Bulborbs are dwarf Bulborbs. However, these are not actually Bulborbs. They are bread bugs mimicking a Bulborb. You can actually see a real dwarf Bulborb in Pikmin 4, though they've yet to show their true colors. Anywho, to represent the Bulborb in the spirit battle is a giant red Yoshi. Yoshi, being able to eat things up, is easy to correlate with the Bulborb's tendency to snack on your squad of Pikmin, but the red and white is also in reference to the Bulborb's color scheme. Due to this eating habit, Yoshi will spam its neutral special, which has him gobble you up. The stage chosen is Distant Planet, based on the Awakening Wood, which does feature the red Bulborb. The stage itself even features it as a stage hazard, although way larger than the Bulborbs in the actual games, unless you're playing Hey Pikmin. The time limit of the battle presumably just references the day timers again. Finally, the music is the main theme from the first Pikmin game, marking the Bulborb's first appearance. Empress Bulblax. This large, tube-shaped, oversized, nasty thing is the Empress Bulblax, a boss enemy in Pikmin 2 and 4. Empress Bulblax will be found snoozing at the depths of some caves. Upon awakening her, she will stretch out and begin rolling from side to side, attempting to crush any Pikmin or Captains. However, her initial boss fight is fairly easy in both games. It's when she starts giving birth to the Bulborb larva that she becomes a legitimate threat. Despite this, the Empress herself is still easy to conquer. Due to being an underground exclusive creature, you cannot grow any new Pikmin using her corpse. Instead, the Empress's body will be sold. Such wholesome stuff. When you defeat the first Empress Bulblax in Pikmin 2, a treasure emerges from her corpse that lets you detect nearby treasure, which is a huge help in this game. When the Empress Bulblax spirit is equipped, your stats increase after eating. I guess this is more of a joke at the Empress's large size, as the Empress Bulblax never actually eats anything within the games. The Empress Bulblax does not have a spirit battle. Emperor Bulblax. Olimar's final objective in the first Pikmin game. After collecting all of his ship parts, Olimar can face off against the Emperor Bulblax to obtain his last ship piece. It's funny, however, as the ship part obtained from this boss is one of the 5 optional parts, meaning you can just choose to not fight this boss. The Emperor Bulblax is a pretty dangerous opponent in its initial appearance. Using its long tongue to scoop up nearby Pikmin, it can also leap up and come flying down to crush your entire squad. This happened to me once. However, if you can get the Emperor to consume a bomb rock, you'll leave him vulnerable for a time, so take full advantage of this. The Emperor Bulblax would return in Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 4, being significantly easier in comparison. They're even smaller now, being more of a tougher enemy than they are a boss. It's actually kind of a joke. Although the Emperor Bulblax from Pikmin 1 sort of returns in Pikmin 4 in the form of the Sovereign Bulblax. To represent the Emperor Bulblax is King K. Rool in his yellow alt and is giant. The yellow matching the almost sickly skin color for the Emperor Bulblax, and the giant size referencing the size of the Emperor Bulblax within Pikmin 1. To further reference the bulkiness of his original appearance, King K. Rool will be harder to make flinch or launch. The stamina section of the battle, I assume, is just referencing the health system of the Pikmin series? Surprisingly, Bob-ombs do not make an appearance in this battle. Anyway, the stage is Distant Planet in its Final Destination form. While this is intended to reference his Pikmin 1 appearance, the location Awakening Wood does have a cave called Bulblax Kingdom, which features the Emperor as a boss, so it double works. While the theme is once again the main theme from Pikmin 1, the origin appearance of the Emperor Bulblax. As for the ice immunity you gain from the Emperor Bulblax spirit, genuinely not a clue. I can assure you of one thing, the Emperor Bulblax is not immune to ice. Burrowing Snagret. The devil to my child self. Or one of them, anyway. The burrowing Snagret is what happens when a bird and a snake get it on. The result is as weird as you'd imagine. A white feathered head connected to a blue scaled body with a singular foot at the very end. This is truly an abomination of evolution, but what exactly does the burrowing Snagret do? Well, if you couldn't tell by the first part of its name, it burrows underground before drilling its beak up to chow down on unsuspecting prey. It will tower over your squad of Pikmin, so position yourself appropriately if you want to take them down with as few losses as possible. When defeated, the burrowing Snagret will release a haunting screech before exploding into several pellets, or only its head, or its whole body. It's changed a lot through this series. Oh, and if you don't like these guys, then get ready, because there's a variant that hops around too. And there's these super cute baby ones as well. To represent the burrowing Snagret is a giant blue Charizard. I would have chosen Falco, but I guess Charizards do have a long neck, so it still works as an appropriate reference. Joining the Charizard is the burrowing Snagret Assist Trophy, which needs no explanation. With there being 2 representatives of the burrowing Snagret, this could be an unintended reference to Pikmin 1 having a spot where you can fight 2 Snagrets at once. Featured in the battle as well is the Pitfall item. While the burrowing Snagret can't burrow its enemies, this simply is here to reference that the burrowing Snagret itself will burrow underground when it's taking too much damage or is changing locations. The theme is the world map from Pikmin 2, a game that features the Snagret, while the stage is the Garden of Hope. They don't appear in this location in Pikmin 3, so this is only chosen because it's a Pikmin stage. When the Burrowing Snagret Spirit is equipped, your speed will decrease. This is to reference how Burrowing Snagrets are more or less glued to one place. Plasm Wraith. An unknown, truly alien-like creature that resides in the formidable oak in Pikmin 3. It's taken a liking to Captain Olimar, forcing him into deep sleep. Anytime he awakens, the Plasm Wraith finds him and drags him back to the deepest parts of the formidable oak. When Alf, Brittany, and Charlie come to learn that Olimar has their cosmic drive key, they make their way to his location and find the creature, mothering Olimar. Scaring it away, they begin escorting Olimar through the tree and back to their ship, but the Plasm Wraith returns, larger in size, chasing the squad until they are forced to fight. The Plasm Wraith is the final boss and main antagonist of Pikmin 3. There are so many theories surrounding this creature that this video would end up becoming dedicated to the Plasm Wraith as a whole. Sadly, despite its deep mystery and lore implications, the Plasm Wraith didn't return in any shape or form in Pikmin 4. I hope one day we can learn more about this gelatinous creature. During the boss fight, the Plasm Wraith is able to use a variety of abilities, such as stabbing, creating glass cubes that crush nearby Pikmin, a Tesla field, large bubbles, and fire pits. You'll need all of your Pikmin if you want to take this thing down. Unfortunately, the Plasm Wraith does not feature a spirit battle. Fiery Blowhog. A member of the Blowhog family, Olimar will first discover these creatures in the forest navel. As their name suggests, fiery blowhogs will blow out fire from their trunks. Due to them strictly utilizing fire, it makes them entirely non-lethal if you only use red Pikmin. The only time they'll be a threat is when you have a squad of Pikmin that aren't immune to fire walking by it, or if they're angling themselves to a bottomless pit when they chuck the Pikmin off their bodies. Other variants do exist, such as the Watery Blowhog and Icy Blowhog. They're also not dangerous. Representing the Fiery Blowhog are 3 white Charizards. Charizard will spam its flamethrower attack, mimicking the gusts of flames that the Blowhog releases. The Fire Flower item is also present in this battle, further mimicking the Fiery Blowhog. As for why 3? Well, usually Fiery Blowhogs aren't alone, and will often be accompanied by 1 or 2 others. And the stamina rule is here to reference the health system of the series. For some reason, this is the only Pikmin spirit to not have its stage be one of the 2 Pikmin stages. Instead, for this battle, it's the Great Cave Offensive in its battlefield form, referencing how the Forest Navel is an underground area. Why didn't they just do this for the White Pikmin, Purple Pikmin, or Empress Bulblax? What? The music is Mission Mode from Pikmin 3, a game that features Fiery Blowhogs. Finally, when the Fiery Blowhog Spirit is equipped, your fire attacks gain increased damage. Smoky Prog. Oh wow, it's day 15, I'm starting to run low on time. I should head back to the distant planet and get those ship parts I've neglected. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, that was the Smoky Prog, a completely optional boss in the first Pikmin game. It can be found on day 15 onward in the distant spring. The Smoky Prog is a dangerous entity said to be the infant version of the Mamuta enemy. It will drag itself to your home base and kill any Pikmin even when buried in the ground, so make sure you got a clear landing site. You'll want to target its face, as anywhere else will result in immediate death. In general, the Smoky Prog will more than likely wipe out a good chunk of your Pikmin, so an extremely dangerous and deadly foe such as this being your first spirit battle in the World of Light is truly insane to me. To represent the Smoky Prog is Mario in his white/black alt while covered in metal. The Unira item will spawn infrequently as well. I'm going to be real. I don't know why any of these things were chosen. Mario is whatever, but why that alt? Why not his green alt? Not that it matters anyway, since he's covered in metal for whatever reason. I guess referencing how unmoving the Smoky Prog is? But then why not just turn on super armor? And the Unira, I guess, could reference how even touching the Smoky Prog will result in damage for you, or death for your Pikmin. The stage is Distant Planet, only chosen because it's a Pikmin stage, although it does have Distant in its name, just like the Distant Spring, the place you'll find the Smoky Prog. Well, this battle sucked for references. On the bright side, after all that death, you get an egg to gain 100 new Pikmin. And further on the bright side, we never had to see this demon again. Oh. Swooping Snitchbug. a fly-like enemy in the Pikmin series that swoops down, as its name suggests, to grab up to 2 Pikmin, then slamming them into the ground. This attack is not lethal and will only require you to pluck them out of the ground again. Even if it isn't lethal, it's pretty annoying. So when you see one and it's bothering you, I give you permission to take them out of the sky. In Pikmin 2, a new variant of the snitch bug was introduced, the bumbling snitch bug. This one could pick up the captains and slam them into the ground, causing damage. This variant never returned, and its ability was given to the swooping snitch bug, making an already annoying enemy that much more annoying. Thankfully, they are pretty easy to overwhelm and weigh down, so you shouldn't have any troubles with them. 4 pits in their green alt are chosen to represent the swooping snitch bug. To reference their hyperfixation on nearby Pikmin, the pits will be chasing down any item that falls. To further reference the snitch bug's Pikmin kidnapping ability is the item that falls throughout this battle, Boss Galaga, a bug alien thing that swoops down and steals your ship, or in this game's case, you. The stage is again Distant Planet, resembling the Forest of Hope from Pikmin 1, a location that houses the swooping snitch bug. The music is the main theme from Pikmin 1, again referencing the snitch bug's origin appearance. Yellow Wallyhop. The frog enemies in the Pikmin series got a name change in North America with the release of Pikmin 4, so I'll be calling them as such, as the original contained, well, a not so good word. A member of the Amphituber family, the Yellow Wallyhop was perhaps one of the scariest enemies in the first Pikmin game that has been facing nerfs with every sequel. You may be thinking, how? It's just a frog. You're right, except they could easily crush dozens and dozens of Pikmin with a singular attack. Timing your throws and whistle blows is key to ensuring as few losses as possible. There's also a cave variant simply named a Wallyhop. It behaves no differently, it just looks different. To represent the yellow Wallyhop are 3 King Dededes in their green alternate. The green, mixed with some yellow over King Dededes, matches the yellow Wallyhop's primarily yellow body with green on the top of its head. To reference the Wallyhop's method of attack, the King Dededes will spam their up specials. Just like the Pikmin games, this makes this fight kind of annoying. The stage is again Distant Planet, and the location it's based on does feature yellow Wallyhops in one area. And the theme is Garden of Hope, which also features yellow Wallyhops. When the yellow Wallyhop spirit is equipped, you gain a strong wind resistance. This has no real reference to anything. Peckish Aristocrab. I love the name of this enemy. The Peckish Aristocrab is a rare enemy you'll find in Pikmin 3, as well as in Pikmin 4. In its origin appearance, its claw was made out of a crystal-like material, meaning only rock Pikmin could destroy it. The Peckish Aristocrab's form of attack had it using its claw to shovel Pikmin into its mouth, blowing them out in bubbles, and drowning them slowly. Once the claw was destroyed, it more or less became harmless. Unless, of course, this is Pikmin 4, where now any Pikmin can attack it as the claw is no longer a crystal, making this entire enemy pointless and way too easy. Oh, Pikmin 4, I love you, but why do you do so many things like this? Anyway, to represent the Peckish Aristocrab is a giant purple Ridley, favoring its side special, which has Ridley grab his opponent and drag them through the ground. The grabbing obviously referencing the Peckish Aristocrab's claw, with the purple resembling the slight purple on the claw, legs, and head. The green wings matching the mostly green body of the crab. The stage and theme are both Garden of Hope. The Peckish Aristocrab is even featured in the Garden of Hope stage, due to it being in the original level of the game. Makiwi. Makiwis are the Bulborbs of Hey Pikmin, a 3DS game where Pikmin went the 2D platformer route. I have some history with this game, but we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss the best to come from this game and somehow not return. Makiwis are 2-legged, ball-shaped, fuzzy duck creatures that have a craving for Pikmin. To defeat them requires the same method as basically all enemies, throwing Pikmin on it. The spirit battle contains an ally for you, being Olimar, the main character of most of the Pikmin games, while the enemy representing the Makiwi is a giant Pac-Man in its pointless yellow alt. Pac-Man already being a ball-shaped character fits the design of the Makiwi. The size of Pac-Man is meant to reference the Makiwis are generally larger than Olimar, but then again, most things are. The stage is Garden of Hope, meant to represent the level Brilliant Garden, while the music is Over Wintry Mountains, taken from Hey Pikmin. This theme has no connection to any level that the Makiwi appears in. It was only chosen because it's from Hey Pikmin. Ochi. Perhaps my least favorite thing to come out of Pikmin 4. Finally, we got some time to talk about this game. Except this isn't a game review, so sadly, I will stick to the script. Ochi is a rescue dog companion who joins her customizable captain in finding all of the lost explorers on PNF 404, as well as finding some treasures to get that nice sparklium. Ochi can be controlled individually of your captain, able to do the same things you can, and more. And when I say more, I truly mean it. You ever wanted to play Pikmin, but you said, man, I kinda hate my Pikmin having all these unique abilities. I wish I could do it myself. No? Well, Nintendo thought you did, because Ochi can become immune to every element, carry over up to 100 weight capacity, defeat enemies, charge forward to stun enemies or break walls, launching all the Pikmin onto said enemies, and some Pikmin even lost their ability so that Ochi could have it instead. Anyway, to represent Ochi is a giant yellow Kirby who favors their dash attack, referencing the charge attack that I mentioned. Joining Kirby is Alf and his pink alt, meant to resemble the default character settings in Pikmin 4. The Haka Tape Bomb item is present due to several spaceships crashing on PNF 404 during this game's plot. You'd think with the cliffhanger Pikmin 3 left us with, alluding to this common occurrence, that Pikmin 4 would elaborate on it, but instead Pikmin 4 decided to reboot the entire storyline, but Nintendo will insist that it's all still canon despite... You know what? That's a ramble for another time. The stage is again Distant Planet, and the music is again Garden of Hope, both meant to represent the first area of the game, the Sun-Speckled Terrace. And that is every Pikmin spirit in Smash. Sorry to get on a bit of a tangent here. Pikmin is my all-time favorite video game series, with Pikmin 2 being my favorite game ever. So I had a lot I wanted to say, and I hope I was able to keep it short and sweet, but understandable. Anyway, if you enjoyed, then consider giving a like and a subscribe. These videos require a lot of work, and well, I wasn't planning to do Pikmin. I'm supposed to be doing these in a specific order, but my hard drive died, so I lost all my Zelda footage, and I'm too discouraged, so I wanted to do one I really like. But the next episode will either be Zelda, if I decide to find the courage to do that all again, or Xenoblade Chronicles. So look forward to either of those. Anyway, that's enough from me. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.